Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel for the penultimate day of this summer's transfer window. It's gonna feel a little bit weird when the transfer window is over because finally there's gonna be some squad clarity for Maurizio Pochettino. There's gonna be significantly less speculation and daily news. So, as much as I've not slept in the last 21 hours since the live stream, 6 things we learned from the Wimbledon game, flying to Kuala Lumpur, making a vlog today as well about that whole experience, linked to more GBFC, where I'm posting these vlogs in the description down below. But since then, Chelsea have been working very hard once again. Today we're going to talk about Cole Palmer. He's a Chelsea player. The medical is happening probably right now. And we're also on the hunt for 17-year-old Brazilians again. I thought maybe we were done with this one, but we're back in the market for another player from Corinthians. As well as that, we're going to talk about the 20-player shortlist that Chelsea had before we decided that Cole Palmer was the one we're going for. And we're also going to discuss the latest regarding Conor Gallagher, because there is interesting developments potentially coming out of Tottenham Hotspur once again. So I'm going to give my thoughts on this one today. But we begin with this tweet here from Chelsea HQ via Fabrizio Romano. Chelsea have been linked with 20 players or more this summer, but behind the scenes they wanted Cole Palmer. Emil Smith-Rowe was never a top target or close to joining even. So we then go on to see here, Cole Palmer to Chelsea. Here we go. Agreement in principle reached with Manchester City on a 40 million deal plus 5 million in add-ons. Exclusive news revealed earlier today, I think this was yesterday, then quick resolution between the clubs and green light from Palmer. Medical test to be booked soon, and then Ben Jacobs confirms that the medical test for Cole Palmer to join Chelsea is happening today. So I think by the time you guys watch this video, we're going to get some kind of announcement because the transfer window closes tomorrow. Chelsea have already agreed a fee with Manchester City. And I want to talk a little bit here about why potentially Cole Palmer, this signing, is getting some very polarising views. You've either got people on the side of the fence who are saying, this is a really good move for Chelsea Football Club. He's actually the player that we need, and he's exactly the kind of mould of player that Maurizio Pochettino is wanting right now when it comes to the versatility of his movement, his positions. Then you've got the other side of the fence, which is people saying, well, if he's not good enough for Manchester City, then why on earth is he coming to Chelsea? That side of it, I'm thinking, I don't know how much of Cole Palmer you've actually seen when he's playing. He's not the perfect player, but I think in terms of what Chelsea have been linked with, what Chelsea have been talking about, Cole Palmer absolutely fits the bill. Pochettino wants someone who can play on the wing and can also play in the number 10. And it's been rumoured that he's speaking right now with Cole Palmer saying, well, you're going to be fighting for the number 10 role, but you also can be fighting for the right wing role, potentially. So what does that say about the future in terms of position of Sterling? Will we see Sterling go back over to the left? Noni Madueke, we know that he loves to cut inside on his left foot, scored a penalty last night for Chelsea with his left foot to equalise against Wimbledon. So is this going to be a reshuffle? What does this mean for Mudryk? But I think this is the kind of player that Pochettino wants. He wants someone who can drift out wide, come inside, occupy those half spaces to create opportunities for your Nicholas Jacksons, the overlapping wing-backs and the forward players alongside of him. Cole Palmer's time at Manchester City, he scored some big goals. Scored in the Community Shield, scored in the Super Cup. He's also scored some wicked goals as well. I spoke about this briefly at the end of the very brief 6 Things We Learned video that we posted earlier from the win against Wimbledon. But overall, 40 million plus 5 million, 45 million. This is significantly less than what Arsenal would have probably quoted for us to sign Emil Smith-Rowe. Numerous other targets that we've gone for this summer. Elise was the top target. He ends up signing a new deal at Crystal Palace. No one could have foreshadowed this happening. And I think for Chelsea to move so quickly with this Cole Palmer deal, it was basically Fabrizio Romano said that Chelsea have expressed interest. Before we knew it, Chelsea had confirmed this deal. We were making sure that behind the scenes we're working hard to get this deal over the line without any other clubs becoming involved. It was a bit of a shock to a lot of people that Manchester City were even contemplating selling Cole Palmer this summer. He's one of those players that when we've all been discussing, well, who could it possibly be? We know that we want a number 10, but someone who can also play out wide. Who could that possibly be? And I don't think Cole Palmer was a name that came up for many people, but now that we look into it, now that we look at what he's good at, I think this is a brilliant signing for Chelsea. I don't think we can also underestimate the fact that already last night he's commenting non-Zeno on Madueke's post. He's got that relationship from the past also with Raheem Sterling, who is probably telling him, look, mate, I don't know what the chances are of breaking in to that City team this season, but they signed Kovacic. I know he's a bit further back, but now they're bringing in Nunes. They're looking for a replacement for Mahrez. And is it not you? Kevin De Bruyne is still there? I don't think it's going to be you, mate. Bernardo's staying. So Cole Palmer is open to that move. And I think when we've got this young contingent of up-and-coming players at Chelsea with a manager who is significantly more renowned for developing young players, giving young players opportunities, that's Pochettino. It's not necessarily Pep Guardiola. So I think for Chelsea and for Cole Palmer, this is a brilliant, brilliant signing. Yes, it's not cheap, but I do think we could be looking at this one in a similar vein, maybe not to the levels, but the way that City look at Chelsea and think, why on earth did you sell Kevin De Bruyne? This could be one of those where we get a little element of payback based on that history. We move to discuss confirmation. Romelu Lukaku is wearing a Roma shirt, and I don't know about you lot, but if that isn't as good enough reason as any to hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the George Benson Football Channel in pure universal agreement, then I don't know what is. This from Ben Jacobs. Roma confirm Lukaku has joined Chelsea on a season-long loan. The fee is £8 million. Bellissimo this is. Lukaku has also roughly halved his wages. Restructured contract includes a £37 million release clause, called first by Matt Law, in keeping with what Chelsea hope to sell him for this summer. I am delighted. I'm happy because if Lukaku somehow does well, then it's great for Jose Mourinho, a man that I absolutely love and adore. And as well as that, it's the energy. We've got rid of him now. It's done. He's one of those players who will probably do quite well again in Serie A. So when it comes to that release clause and the potential for another sale next summer, Chelsea can get this one done. We move to discuss Marc Cucurella to Manchester United. It's come out very recently at the time of me recording this video, aiming to upload it for you guys as soon as possible in the middle of the afternoon in the UK. Because Marc Cucurella was picked to play for Chelsea last night in a Carabao Cup game against Wimbledon, Manchester United are having second thoughts. It's put some kind of stumbling block on this potential deal. This is nonsense. Marc Cucurella, on a flipping Wednesday night playing against Wimbledon, he wasn't going to be at Carrington doing medicals at that time last night. Mate, Erik ten Hag. Let's just call a spade here. Man United are broke. They can't afford anything right now. Every single deal that they're trying to execute is either a loan, paying a pittance, paying nothing, with obligations to buy further down the line. Why is that? Because they ain't got no money to spend, or the owners don't want to flipping spend it. So for that reason, I think this Cucurella was picked last night. This isn't very good. He's about to move to United. This is all a way to say to Chelsea, look, we can't afford 5 million. Sorry about that. They want Chelsea to accept something lower so that they're not paying that massive loan fee. I'm also hoping that this deal doesn't fall down, because this is true. I don't really see why Cucurella playing last night has put such a massive hurdle in the way of this move to Manchester United. I just don't get why it would do that. But if it has, I think maybe Chelsea have screwed up here. Maybe if it is that big of a deal to United, we should have known about this, and Pochettino shouldn't have picked him last night. He also didn't play that well. When you watch the full game back, which you now can, on the Fifth Stand app, Marc Cucurella, once again, was not fantastic. He doesn't fit in this system. Ian Matson's a better player. Ben Chilwell's a better player. If Chelsea can get anything for him to send him on loan this season, I think it's a benefit for him probably a benefit for another club, and less of a hindrance to Chelsea Football Club. So let's see how this one develops. Jacob Steinberg here. It's the final story before we talk about another player who we're about to sign. Tottenham planning move for Conor Gallagher. Bayern interested too. It's got to a point now. You look at Gallagher's stats last night. Nearly 100 passes of the ball. Pretty much all of them to a man in Chelsea's 98% second half dominance of possession. Conor Gallagher's got to stay. If he hasn't shown to you at this point that he's good enough to be at Chelsea, he's making levels, steps above what we've seen before. He's working well in Pochettino's system. He's fighting for the Chelsea shirt. If you still don't want this guy at Chelsea, please let me know in the comments down below, because it's got to a point now where I think Conor is perfect for this Chelsea team. Whether that is starting every game or not, probably unlikely, because we got Caicedo, we got Enzo Fernandez, who's world class. And I think with Conor, if he does get sold, it's going to be because still he's not incredible at something, but it's got to a point where he's no longer just good at everything. He's very good at almost everything right now. Needs a lot more output in the final third. But other than that, I think Conor's got to stay. And I'll be so disappointed right now in the club if they let him go at this stage in the window. The final story of the day, because I really do need to get to bed. My voice is about to disappear. Chelsea have presented formal bid to Corinthians for 2005 born top talent Gabriel Moscardo. Bid already discussed between clubs, as Bruno Andrid reported. Told Corinthians now want 25 million euros to sell Moscardo and make it club record sale. It'd be a signing for the future. So this kid is 17 years old, and Chelsea is still doing bits in the transfer window. This has come up in the last couple of hours. We're going to see how this one develops, but Chelsea are on the verge of bringing in yet another 17-year-old young Brazilian talent. Whatever you think about this talent pool that Chelsea have created of young players, there's some facts that we need to discuss here. Not all of these youngsters that Chelsea have bought, even just this summer alone, are going to make it at Chelsea. It does make the academy and that evolution into the first team a slightly less attractive prospect because there's so much competition. But I will say this, if ever there was any doubt about what these owners are looking to do at Chelsea Football Club, if there was any doubt in our minds that they're not all in, that's all gone. I'm sorry. The way that we've moved in this transfer window has been incredible. And I'm going to get a night's sleep. Tomorrow is deadline day. We're going to revisit all of these stories again, see what goes through, see what doesn't, and see where we're looking come the end of the window. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please hit the like button, subscribe if you are new, and check out more GBFC, and of course, shoot out the 2 channels linked in the description. Come on, you Blues.